AI, or artificial intelligence, is all the rage right now. Everybody's talking about it. Technology companies are talking about it. Businesses are talking about it. Artists are talking about it. The government's talking about it. Everybody's talking about artificial intelligence. So let's talk about it too. AI, or artificial intelligence, seems to be the hot topic of the day. No matter what you're watching or listening to, artificial intelligence seems to make its way into the conversation. Some say it's the greatest thing to ever come along. Others warn that it will eventually lead to the destruction of all humankind. I don't know about all of that, and I'm certainly not going to try to make any predictions about where it will all lead. But would it surprise you if I told you that Jesus addressed this topic? I believe that the Bible is timeless and that there is nothing that has happened or will happen in the future that the Bible doesn't address. So with all this talk about AI, I wondered if there was anything in the Bible about it. I think there is. It doesn't address it from a technological standpoint, but rather from a spiritual standpoint, just like every other topic that the Bible addresses. We'll get to the words from the Bible that I'm referring to in a minute. But first, let's get a simple definition of AI that we can use as our starting point. One definition says, artificial intelligence leverages computers and machines to mimic the problem-solving and decision-making capabilities of the human mind. Okay, what does that mean? Best I can tell is that the computer uses lots and lots of data and some programmed instructions in order to mimic the human capability to solve problems or make decisions. I do a fair amount of photography, and AI is starting to be much more prevalent in the field of photography. I used to spend all kinds of time trying to cut something out of a photo. Now I can pretty much just click a button and the data and the programmed instructions accomplish the same thing in a matter of seconds. It's great. Sometimes it does a fantastic job. Sometimes not so much. Why is that? Well, because it's mimicking what it thinks I want to do. Sometimes it mimics me very well, other times not. Because it's not me. It's lots of data and some very complicated algorithms that can do some amazing stuff, but it's not me. Maybe that's why they call it artificial intelligence. It's lots of data and some advanced programming, but it's still artificial. Notice in the definition that we read that it says it mimics the human mind, but it's not the human mind. It's artificial. It's a facsimile. It can mimic sometimes amazingly well. So that's why it's hard to tell the difference between the AI and the real thing sometimes. And that brings us to some words from Jesus that I'm convinced addresses AI Christianity, artificial intelligence Christianity. These words are quite sobering. These are words that may be very surprising to people someday. Matthew 7:21 through 23 says, "Not everyone who says to me, 'Lord, Lord,' will enter the kingdom of heaven, but the one who does the will of my Father who is in heaven. On that day, many will say to me, 'Lord, Lord, did we not prophesy in your name and cast out demons in your name and do many mighty works in your name?' And then I will declare to them, 'I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of lawlessness.'" You may say this has nothing to do with artificial intelligence, but let me tell you why I think it does. You see, the message here is that you did lots of stuff. You ran the program. You followed the algorithm. You completed all the steps, checked them all off, followed the programmed rules, and made something that looked good. The people around you were probably pretty impressed. And yet Jesus says, it's not good enough. It's not genuine, not real, not sufficient. He says, depart from me, I never knew you. You did the stuff, but it wasn't genuine. It wasn't the real thing because you didn't know me, he says. He makes it clear that our service must be based on a genuine relationship with him. That's what makes it real. Anything less is just artificial intelligence Christianity. Going through the motions, making something that looks good, but isn't the real thing. A computer can take photos and videos of me, recordings of my voice, and can make something that looks and sounds incredibly like me. But it's not me. It's just a mimic of me. It's an artificial me. In the same way, we can take a bunch of good behaviors, moral rules, church activities, and bundle them up to make something that looks like we have a great relationship with Jesus. We may fool those around us, maybe even fool ourselves, but we can't fool Jesus. He knows if it's genuine Christianity based on a real and intimate relationship with Him, or if it's just artificial intelligence Christianity. And depending on which one it really is, the eternal consequences could be devastating. I can't answer for you, and you can't answer for me, but one thing is for sure. We are all going to have an answer. Is mine a genuine Christianity, or is it artificial intelligence Christianity? Going through the motions, but not the real thing. I don't know where all this artificial intelligence stuff will end up here in our earthly realm. I don't know. But I know that in the spiritual realm, the realm that ultimately matters, artificial intelligence doesn't cut it. All this artificial intelligence talk has got me taking a serious look at myself. How real is my Christianity? Is it based on going through the motions, doing the things, checking the list, or is it based on a true and real relationship with Jesus Christ? We all have to decide that. I'll let you decide that for yourself. I know I have decided I need to do some introspection and take a good look at that question. And maybe you need to do something similar. Is ours a real and genuine Christianity, or is it, like those folks in Matthew 7 learned, an artificial intelligence Christianity? I encourage us all to take a serious look at ourselves and figure out where we are. Thanks for listening. God bless you on your journey.